A very good evening and welcome to this evening edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Harshini Pathirana. Let's start off with a look at your headlines.
News First headline.
National Election Commission to proclaim presidential election by July end. PAFFREL to take legal action against election delays. Petition filed by entrepreneur Chamindra Dayan Lenever to be taken up before a bench of Supreme Court justices tomorrow. 200 plus trade unions to go on strike tomorrow. In your international headlines, Hamas says it's waiting for Israel response on ceasefire proposal. And in your sports with cricket, India bat and hand Sai Sudarshan T20I debut. And now your news in detail. The Election Commission says it will proclaim the date for the presidential election before the end of July. Chairman of the Election Commission, RMA Ratnayaka, said that the Election Commission plans to proclaim the election within a week from the 17th of July. Meanwhile, the 2024 voter list has been prepared. The chairman of the Election Commission said that the voter list will be endorsed during the next week. In more local news, the People's Action for Free and Fair Elections, or the PAFFREL, said legal action will be taken if the government attempts to postpone the election. The executive director of PAFFREL, Rohan Hettiarachchi, said that there is a week's time left until the Election Commission is vested with the authority to proclaim the presidential election. He affirmed that PAFFREL is confident that if the country's leaders act in accordance with the constitution, there will be no obstacle in announcing the election in the first week of August. He further said that the Election Commission must hold the election before the 17th of October and that this authority has been clearly granted to the Election Commission by the Constitution. A bench of 5 justices of the Supreme Court is set to consider the petition filed by an entrepreneur seeking an interim order to be issued on the Election Commission. Now, the petition filed by entrepreneur Chamindra Dayan Lenever will be taken up before a bench comprising of Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya and Justices Vijit Malalgoda, Burdu Fernando, Preeti Padman Surasena and S. Thurai Raja. The petitioner is seeking an interim order from the Supreme Court preventing the Election Commission from conducting the presidential election until the Supreme Court gives an interpretation on the term of the president. The petitioner seeks an order from the Supreme Court preventing the chairman of the Election Commission, members of the Election Commission as well as the Commissioner General of Elections from conducting the election until the petition is taken up and decided upon. The petition has also sought an order from the court to determine the president's term is 6 years and for an order directing the Election Commission to hold the election after this time period lapses. In more local news, over 200 trade unions representing various public service sectors in Sri Lanka have announced a 2-day strike action. They will be applying for sick leave and not reporting to work from tomorrow. This trade action will be launched citing concerns including the failure increase the government executive office allowances to 25,000 rupees. The trade union include Collective of State and Provincial State Services Trade Union, Postal Trade Union, Health Trade Unions, Ceylon Teachers Union, University Non-Academic Employees Union and Sri Lanka Gramin Ladari Officers Union. The University Non-Academic staff will engage in a trade union action on the 8th and 9th of July. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has advised principals to continue school activities next week with the support of parents. In response to the trade union action to be implemented from tomorrow, Ministry Secretary Tilaka Jayasundara said that this decision was made to ensure uninterrupted school activities.
international news.
Now taking a look at your news from overseas, Hamas is waiting for a response from Israel on its ceasefire proposal. Two officials from the Palestinian group said today, 5 days after it accepted a key part of a US plan aimed at ending the 9-month war in Gaza. The three-phase plan was put forward at the end of May by US President Joe Biden and is being mediated by Qatar and Egypt. It aims to end the war and free around 120 Israeli hostages being held by Hamas. Another Palestinian official with knowledge of the ongoing ceasefire deliberations said Israel was in talks with the Qataris. Israel's government made no comment on the timing of these deliberations. Now, Hamas, which controls Gaza, has dropped a key demand that Israel first commit to a permanent ceasefire before signing an agreement. Instead, it said it would allow negotiations to achieve that throughout the 6-week first phase, a Hamas source told foreign media yesterday, on condition of anonymity because the talks are private.
Sports news.
And now taking a look at your news from the sports arena, looking to come back from 1-0 down in the 5-match T20I series at the Harare Sports Club, India chose to bat after winning their second toss in a row. In response to that result, India chose to strengthen their batting, leaving out the left-arm quick Khalil Ahmed and bringing in the left-hand top order bat B, Sai Sudarshan, handing him his T20I cap and making him their fourth debutant in the two games. Zimbabwe, meanwhile, named an unchanged 11. Their captain Sikandar Raza said he would have opted to bowl anyway had he won the toss. He suggested the pitch might get better to bat on after having produced a low-scoring series opener. And with that, we wrap up this edition of US 101's Visual Radio. I'm Hashni Pathirana. Thank you for watching and good night.